Здравствуйте.
Hello. Today we will examine the second myth about the conception of social safety, the assertion that the CSS is dogmatic in its essence. This question was well answered by Vladimir Mikhailovich Zaznobin in the lecture Three Variants of the Future for Russia. Let us give him the floor. People who know that there is the conception, now by our estimates there are several million. But as for those who know the conception and understand it, we don't know, but not very many. What you are talking about mainly concerns those who know that there is the conception. If someone has memorized it and rattles off quotations, then he should know, and we have written about this repeatedly, that we are entirely against any dogmatics. The conception is developing. For this reason, we have, at the first priority of generalized informational means and weapons, information of a worldview methodological character. If a person has merely memorized things, although I don't understand how one could memorize, for example, Dead Water or 65 works, all of them are aimed at revealing this or that problem more broadly. If he has understood, then he will conduct a discussion not quotationally dogmatically. I know what they say. Go and read there, read this and that. This is not a supporter of the conception. This is a person who has not understood the conception. And unfortunately, there are such people now. We actually parted ways with the party because of this. It should be said that to certain people about whom it was spoken in the first video, and who will be spoken of in more detail in later videos, it is characteristic to dogmatize the knowledge of the CSS. This is a manifestation of fanaticism. The author collective itself has repeatedly stated that many provisions must be reconsidered and refined. For example, the second priority of generalized means of governance was originally called chronological, then historical algorithmic. Now the author collective, at the suggestion of younger supporters of the CSS, is inclined to rename it matrix algorithmic, since this concept encompasses and better reveals its essence. So in our 6 priorities of generalized means of governance, the conception is not a dogma after all, it is always in development. And it is good that now not only a small author collective participates in this development, but in essence tens, hundreds, and even thousands of people. Information flows in from all over the world to us, and to the measure of necessity, we adjust certain provisions of the conception and present this for discussion. And it seems to us, this is now under discussion, that the second priority is not chronological, but matrix algorithmic. What then does matrix algorithmic mean? The first priority remains methodological worldview. This is precisely the question, especially for the young people. How well they have mastered methodology. By the way, the proposal came from young people. Because history also unfolds within a certain matrix. What is realized is a certain algorithmics of development, and this is expressed, generally speaking, in the chronology of history. Therefore, the second priority has been called matrix algorithmic, or chronological initially it was called. That is, everyone who wishes has an open opportunity to contribute to the development of the conception. A dogmatic approach from the standpoint of the CSS is, on the contrary, criticized. Thank you for your attention.